I'm here today to talk about SQream, which is a GPU-based data warehouse for analytics, big data, business intelligence, and machine and deep learning. SQream utilizes the multiple cores of GPUs to be able to do parallel processing using a standard ANSI SQL database. SQream was actually built from the ground up to use GPUs and is an enhancement to a traditional CPU-based environment. By using the GPUs, SQream allows you to analyze bigger and bigger data sets. The founders of SQream determined that GPUs were going to accelerate the rate at which things would happen versus CPUs. And so they wanted to take the power of GPUs and use it for analyzing data. SQream utilizes the power of GPUs to do both SQL loading and SQL queries within the GPU environment, being a completely new paradigm and built from the ground up to utilize GPUs. How does it work? So basically we take the data, and as we take the data into SQream, we use GPUs to put the data into columns, and we do what we call metadata tagging. Having done the metadata tagging, we then chunk the data into relevant pieces. And then we do an automatic adaptive compression. The compression is determined automatically by SQream based upon the nature of the data as it's put into the columns. Once we've done this, we then have built out our SQream database, and we can load data at a rate of 3 to 6 terabytes per GPU per hour. Once the data is in the database and we do the queries, we use the data skipping algorithm to find only the data we need from the metadata that we built as we took the data into the database. We then pass that data on to GPUs, and we do parallel processing within the GPUs of the SQL queries using the power of the GPUs to do things like joins, and then we are able to display the data from those queries much faster than in a traditional data environment. We can take data that possibly took hours to query before and now get that data result in minutes or seconds. The big difference with SQream is because we're using GPUs versus traditional MPP or in-memory databases, we can query 20 times more data 100 times faster at 10% of the cost.